This tutorial will walk you through the process of creating a cylinder and a half cylinder and a cube with a hole in it for the 5 model parts project. First, you can see I've been working on a different project. You want to make sure that you have the correct project library chosen. So I want to go to my 5 parts and assemblies and make sure that that has the check mark. Then when I open or save, it'll go automatically to the folder that contains my 5 parts and assemblies. So I'm going to go ahead and open up all of my parts. You can see down here that I have the cube with a hole in it, a cylinder, half cylinder, and triangular prism. So these two, the triangular prism and the cube, I'll move that to the left, these two should already be created. And I'm going to make the cube with a hole in it, the cylinder, and the half cylinder. These 5 models will then be used to teach you how to assemble parts. Okay, let's get started. We want to make a new part. I like to use this drop down part. And I'm making a cube with a hole in it. I could actually just open my cube and then save that as cube with hole. In fact, let's do that. What I want to do is edit a face. So I'm going to right click, actually first, before I do this, let's save this as cube with hole so I don't accidentally save over the top of cube. So I'll go to File, Save As, and I'll save this as cube with hole number 2 so it doesn't overwrite my last one. Okay, now I want to right click on the face that I want to edit, and in this case I'm editing because I'm putting a hole in that face. So I'm right clicking, I say new sketch, and I'm holding my mouse wheel down to center this, or I could just click on top and that also would put it back in the center of my screen. And now I want to put a drill point down. So I click point, and if I just hover over this, you can see the green dot tells me where the midpoint is, and I know that I want that drill point centered on the top of that face. So I know the center is 0.75 because the cube is 1.5 inches along its side in each dimension. So if I look at my X and Y right now, it's 0.75 and the Y value negative 0.75 because this is 0, so I'm going down 0.75. So I'm going to go ahead and find that place. If it's too difficult to get it right on, see I had it before and now it doesn't want it there, it snapped. But if you're hovering around and it's just a little bit off, just hit your tab and you can go in there and type it manually. So I'll just put my 0.75, the negative 0.75 is correct, and hit enter. And you can barely see it, but there's a green hashed cross there, and that's where the program is going to know automatically that I want to place my hole. So now I go to 3D model and select hole, and as I said, it knows that that's where the hole is going to go. 0.25 inches is correct, and I want it through all. So let me bring this out here. I could say distance if I didn't want it to go all the way, but I do want it to go all the way, and notice that you have these different types of drill points as well. So I'll change this through all and say okay. And that was quick enough, right? Hole, I already named it cube with hole 2. Right now, if I save this by going save as, I'm going to get an error. It already exists, yes. And it says cannot give a document the same name as an open document. That's a common error. I don't know why. Usually like a Word document, we can do save as and save over the top. With this program, once you have that part open by its name, The only way you can use save as is to give it a new name, but instead of giving it a new name, I'm just going to click save. So this is like an old floppy disk. You could use that or just simply go File, Save. And now that's done already. So let me go to my part I started. Remember I did the drop down and part. And this is going to be my cylinder. That should be nice and easy, right? So I'll click on my 2D sketch tool so I can choose a plane, and I'll click this one. And now I need the face of that half cylinder, so it's going to be a semicircle, and the base of that semicircle is a line, so I'll click on the line tool and then click and release, and I'm going to type in 1.5 for my base, and there it is, and click on front and it centers. And now I'm going to use the 3-point arc. That's usually the default up here. If it's not the default, just click on the drop down, and right here is 3-point. And with a 3-point arc, what I do is I make sure you see that green dot. I click on each end point of the line and then just pull up, and half of that distance is going to be 0.75 because it's half of a circle. And there's the face of my object. Now I go to 3D model, extrude, and 1.5 inches, and center that, and I'll give it a wood property, wood birch, and file, save as, and here I have half cylinder. I'm going to name this one half cylinder 2. And now I just have one part left. So new part, and choose a plane, and I'll make a circle. Click on the point of origin and open your circle. Your circle will be 1.5 in diameter, and then 3D model, extrude, and 1.5 extrusion distance. Give it a material setting of wood, and take a look at it. Looks good. File, save as, and this one is my cylinder. I'll call this cylinder 2, and save. Okay, I'm going to close that, and close that, and close, and close, 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 close. Okay, now you see that my recent files are right here in the window, and I want to pin them here so they don't disappear. I have students who say, my models that I created are gone. Well, they're not really gone just because they're gone from this window. This is just your recent files. If you want it to stay here, however, you can pin them. So what I'll do is I'm going to choose the ones that I had originally. I'll take my cube and I will pin it with this pin. Click to pin. And here's I want the ones without the 2. Pin this. And my half cylinder. And my cylinder. And I should have 5 in all. And cube with hole. Okay, now I have 5 things pinned, and those 5 models are the models that I'm going to use in the assembly. That will be your next tutorial.